Y'all, let me tell you how I almost went back to prison when I came home and was on probation. Hold on. Okay, so when I came home from prison, I was sentenced to 2 years of probation, but then I was able to get it reduced to 1 year. When I got indicted, my address was in Miami, Florida, but when I left, my kids moved with my mama, and at this time, she stayed in Atlanta, Georgia. So when it was time for me to go to the halfway house, I had told my counselor that I don't want to go to Miami. I want to go where my kids at, because I wasn't finna just take them out of school, like, rearrange their whole life that quick. So I moved to Atlanta, Georgia with my mama, and that's where I was on probation at. When I got to Atlanta, Georgia, I felt like the process was so slow. Like, I was applying for jobs, but in Atlanta, Georgia, that's a different state from Miami, but federal is accessible everywhere. So if it was a job that I had to do a fingerprint, which majority of the jobs was asking me for that, I wasn't getting a job, and I was I was really getting discouraged. So I started looking on Craigslist, because jobs on Craigslist be a little shady, and I found a job working at a collection center. Remind you, I was working at a collection center before I went to prison, and that's how I end up getting indicted, because of that collection center taking people information. So I found this collection agency because that's something that I always did and I was familiar with, and I got the job. It was a small company, like a black guy owned the company, and he just simply ain't give a fuck. So when I got there, I'm working, like I'm doing my job, and he see that. He was one of them fresh managers, so he was like, "Oh, I see you progressing here. I want to make you a manager." So I'm like, "All right." So now in collection agencies, a collector is unable to see people info like how it was when I was doing TurboTaxes. Like, you could see, like I told y'all, you could get people social, whatever it was. Now the system don't allow you to see the people information just like the last four of their social. But when I became a manager, I had access to see this information again. So when I became this manager, I was really scared, because I started having thoughts of what I used to do. I'm not gonna lie, I started collecting shit again. Start trying to do shit again. And I was like, you know what? Like, bitch, one person who don't gotta worry about me is FBOP. So I told the guy, I was like, I'm gonna just quit the job before I go down the wrong path. So I wrote my resignation letter and I gave it to the manager. Mind you, I said he's a black guy, and he had to be like in his 50s at this. He was alone with my mama. So I go tell him, and he was like, "Why you resigning for? Like, you doing so good. You just became manager." And I was just like, just for my own personal reasons or whatever. So this man tells me, he say, "Close the door." I closed the door, and he was like, "Well, it's tempting." How he knew that? How did he knew that? He said, I searched you up and I did a background check on you. He never told me he was doing a background check. He was like, "I see you went to the feds for fraud." And he was like, "I just got out the feds as well for fraud." So now me and him talking. He was like, "I really like you. I ain't gonna put you in that situation." He was like, "I also own a couple Boost Mobiles in Atlanta, Decatur, and like the metro area of Atlanta." So he was like, "I need a manager at one of the Boost Mobile stores," which was in Decatur. So I was like, okay, that sounded a little better. I could do that. He was like, he had the store closed for a little bit. He got it on Craigslist, and he been looking for people. Like, he been trying to hire people, but he just ain't find a good fit. So he was like, if I'm interested, he could take me by there, because he really want to open them back up. Now, remind you, this man is only in Atlanta like for a week out the month. So he'll be here this week, but then he's gone everywhere else. Like, he traveling, he just everywhere. So we go to the Boost Mobile. He showed me around, like he teach me everything. So this is what got me. phones come in also once a month. So they come in boxes, like these cardboard boxes. He used to make me, like, once I take all the phones and I put the phones in stock, he'll make me close that box up, duct tape it, and slice a hole in a box. So every day that the store made money, because he had a store that was in downtown Atlanta that was booming. He had 2 workers working over there already, but both of them was part-time taking turns. So he was like, when the store started making money, I want you to put the money in the envelopes and drop it inside the box. I'll pick it up once a month. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm working here for like 3 months. Everything going good. So every time he come down, he want to hang out. We vibing. We going to the clubs. He was taking me to concerts. But this particular month, he was down for like 3 weeks. So we vibing tough. So he was like, every month, if he not picking up the money, he was sending like these, like Arabs, Cuban guys to the store to pick up the boxes. When the guys come to the store, they in like Maserati, they in like high-end cars. Like, okay, like what the fuck going on? So once I started getting into his world, this nigga still was on that type of timing. Every time we used to go out, he had like the bodyguards with him. Like one time we went to the club, the bodyguards like led the way. And when they led the way, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, bitch, I'm feeling like I'm in a mob or something. Y'all tell me why. One day, like, because the job was so long, I got kids that I had to tend to. So he was like, he wants somebody else to work that store. He finna put an ad up on Craigslist. And if he hires somebody, he want me to train them. So I trained this guy for like 2 weeks. And that second week, the guy had quit. So
this is crazy. So you telling me an ex-fraud con artist at this point started a business, which you can do legally, honestly. Like, that's the one thing about going to prison and getting out. They can't stop you from starting a business. You know what I'm saying? You can start a business. But me personally, I would not be fucking with you or the business. Like, I'm just being, I gotta be real with you. You see how she said it was tempting? Call me judgmental. But I'm not putting my money in. I don't even use Boost Mobile. If you still using Boost Mobile, pray for yourself, because they letting supposedly anybody can run a Boost Mobile, you know? And if you got fraud on the mind, you need to hire all these people with fraud, like, backgrounds. I don't know, man. I think, first of all, I think he only hired her because he likes her. Because who the hell will hire somebody they know steal? He's talking, you tempted, right? Yeah. I bet you are. I wouldn't put my information in his shit. I'm telling you right now.
I think he did that though, because like you said, he went to jail for the same thing. So it's like maybe he's still in the business and wants somebody that's not going to see the red flags and like snitch on him, but can join him in more illegal activity.
I'm saying, as a customer, I'm not putting my information in nothing he got. I need her to start naming everything he got. No offense. I hope I don't know if I should hope he thrive or not, because it could be somebody else's downfall at the end of the day. But I don't know, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you get fraud on your name, you're not getting no normal job. So she had to get a job like this, because if I'm an employer and I look at your name and it says you have anything to do with fraud, like you steal from establishments, what the? I'm not giving you a job. No, I'm for real. Like, come on now. If you the type of person who would, you're gonna get messed over like 9 times out of 10. I mean, you might find somebody who really want to turn their life over, but what happens when it gets tempting? Like, you just, oh, you want me to take this money to the bank? It's like putting drugs in front of a drug addict. It's like, you set yourself up in that situation.
I think all of that was testing her. Like the fact that she was getting people's socials, like he promoted her to a manager, and then like now she could see people's
social. Manager? Like, come on now, what the hell?
I think her saying, you know what, I want to resign, that was him like, okay, like maybe she is changing. We haven't got to the end yet, so maybe, they did both change their life around. Because when he saw that she was not doing that, and that was her reason for wanting to quit, he was like, you know what? I got another place for you. I believe in second chances.
Yeah, right. Why you need all those security guards? I don't know who he is. A lot of people don't know who he is. They need security guards for running a Boost Mobile. And any other businesses. Let you celebrity status, you got to be doing something wrong to be having security guard around you.
So one day I'm working in a store. The guy know what time I count the money. He know like when the store finna close. And I see a guy walk in the store. It's cold as fuck in Georgia. He got on this San Diego coat that like dropped to his ankles. And I know him because I trained him, and he wore like these bifocal glasses. Like, the nigga look pie. And I'm from Miami, where it's a little more tougher. So Georgia to me was a little slow until I found out. So when he walked in the store, I'm like, hey, we closed. But I know him. So I'm like, you left something? He ain't say nothing. He just walk up to the counter. So I'm counting the money. He was like, put all the money in the bag. So I look up. He got like this gun pointed at me. And he's shaking it like this. And he was like, put all the money in the bag. So I'm looking at this nigga. The gun looked rusted, number one. And then, like, he just looked like he wasn't on that type of timing. I don't know. Like, I wasn't scared. Like, it wasn't none of that. So I'm like, man, you better come around here and get it. So he walk around. The man didn't have like cameras like that in the shop. He had them cameras that you plug up. And the nigga knew that. So the nigga unplugged the camera and he took the money and he put it inside a bag. And then he just like walked out. I'm on probation. I'm not calling no police. So I called the man and I'm like, listen, that guy who you had me training just came in and robbed the store. He was like, you got it on camera. Can you call the police? I was like, no, I don't want to call the police because I don't want no encounters. Plus, I did not tell my probation officer that I was working because the job was like under the table. He was paying me under the table. So I'm like, no, I can't call the police.
Yeah, see? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? What happens when you hire all these felons? He's hiring felons. And then first of all, okay, I know some of y'all probably watching this video has been in management. You probably have been a key holder or something. Your job was in charge of counting a safe at one point in your life. What do they teach you when you're counting the registers at the end of the night? What is one of the number one things that you learn? Isn't it make sure no one is in the store and make sure the doors are locked? Why the hell are you counting the register? But at the end of the day, in her defense, right? This probably new to her. She coming out of Fried. She ain't really into this 9 to 5 shit. So this probably new to her. But anybody should know. Like he should have told her, like, dude, make sure the doors are locked. For one, like it's a safety hazard. And for two, why are you still counting as he's walking up? Because you know him. Put the money in the bag. Absolutely. Like this is like, thank you. How much is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, put it in this bag. And then he unplugged the camera. Like, come on now, this is ridiculous.
This is what happens when you hire sketchy people, because this, mind you, was a person she was training. This got to be the goofiest robbery ever. So smart. I know it's you, right? And the fact that she's not even afraid when he's about, I will be so offended as a robber. Like, are you not taking me serious right now?
Right, he just walked in like he already knew the rotation. Like it actually was smart on his end. Like he got trained to see how everything goes in here. And then as soon as he left out, he said, all right, we're going to rob him tonight.
But didn't even have a
she
good
don't
disguise.
care as much, right? Like we know she don't talk to the police. So this is an easy lick when you think about it. Like she don't even want to call the police. So it's like everybody's about to be running there all week. He gonna have to get some real like employees in there.
I ain't gonna lie. If you got cameras that you can unplug, stuff like this gotta happen. Because what do you mean he just walked over and unplugged it? It's like when you got a Ring camera, you can just rip it off the wall.
Or just put some tape over it. Like, nigga, you thought that was about to save you. Like, what an idiot.
Because, like, I ain't tell my probation officer. He was like, but you gotta call the police. I'll bond you out. I'm like, I'm not calling no police. So, I leave the store. Bitch, I lock the store and I leave. He keep FaceTiming me, calling me, sir, I'm not coming up there with no police. Tell me why they put a warrant out for my arrest for robbery. Like I did the crime. Even though the police, they seen like the boy walk in the store from the outside cameras that was in the plaza. They put a robbery charge on me. Hold on, come back. Cause this shit gets so deep, y'all. I had to bring my ass back to Miami quick. But during the midst of all that, I went through it. Come right back. Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all part 2 right now. I'm kind of tired from today, but I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all part 2. So I left that store, and like I said, I did not call police because I did not want any encounters with the police due to the fact that I was on probation. So when I went home, I was scared. I didn't stay home that night. I had went to my homeboy house, who I knew stayed up there. Me and him was really close. Like he's a part of the LBGT community, so me and him was able to like vibe like that. This man was calling me all freaking night, and then he sent me a text message. Was like, if I don't make a report, they're gonna assume that I had something to do with it. Like I set the store up to get robbed, and they're gonna have to file a police report on me as well, and that's gonna make whatever situation I got going on worse. I read that shit and I closed the bag. I didn't give a fuck what he was talking about, because to me, I felt like it's a plaza, it's cameras. Like even before the man unplugged the damn camera, they could see him come in the store. They could see like us have the interaction where we was talking to each other, and that's like as I get to the end of the story, you like it's gonna all make sense, but they're gonna see everything on camera before he came around and unplugged the camera. So I tell my mama what happened. My mama was like, "You always got some bullshit going on. Don't get your ass out on that dumbass shit." Blah 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 blah. Whatever. So my friend, he used to smoke, and while I'm chilling over there, his weed man pull up. The weed man straight, like a straight guy or whatever. So I'm stressed out. So I'm like, man, I can't smoke because I was on Codaphone. So the boy was like, man, what your friend going through? Like all us just outside talking. He a straight nigga. So he was like, pull up the blue flame with him. So I was like, all right. I went home. I got some clothes. I got dressed at my homeboy house. We ended up going to Blue Flame with the niggas. They was having a party in there. Y'all, why we go to Blue Flame with this nigga and I'm talking about this shit look like green bag back in the day. Like this shit is lit, okay? I had a amazing time. I had so much fucking fun that night. I ended up getting drunk and I was driving and the police, I end up hitting somebody's car, and we put 9 on chase that night because again I wasn't stopping. My homeboy, he was
No cap, she one of those people when she get older, she gonna be telling some wild stories, man. Her grandkids is not gonna believe that shit. Like, no way. Like, my grandma told me on my dad's side that she was a part of a bank robbery. I said, like, what in the world? Like, you will be amazed, but this is crazy. This is why you don't hire, this is why people are, listen, after story times like this, it's gonna be hard for felons to get jobs even more. It's already hard. But if a motherfucker had a chance then, they ain't got a chance in the world now. Because look what happens. Like, why are you on the run? You look guilty. Just call the police. I don't understand what type of parole you'll be on that they will arrest you for working a job. Whether it's under the table or over the table, why would it matter? I just don't understand. It's a legit job. You're doing legit stuff. I mean, if anybody's gonna get in trouble, it's gonna be the person who hired you under the table, right? I'm like, how can I get in trouble because he didn't want to pay me over the table? He wanted to avoid taxes. How the hell is that my problem? Okay.
I think she was just thinking, even though he said, I'm going to bond you out, mind you, he got a criminal background too. So who's to say he was going to bond her out? But she don't even sound like she got any regret. Like, she's smiling now. Yeah, like, she had a time. She was having a time. What do you mean you got robbed and then that night you are now running into people's cars and having a ball?
Now you're on the run. Like, if that don't make you look guilty, I mean, from his perspective, think about it. She trained him. Did you like reference him to the job or something? Like, or did he pick him? But you trained him, and then you with him all the time, and you just tell me like we see y'all on camera talking, and then he just come over and unplug the camera. How we know y'all just ain't do this in cahoots the way you just let it happen without calling the police, locked the door, and disappeared.
And then the fact she don't even look scared in the video. She just like, what?
Right.
You come around here.
She made up a BS excuse on I ain't trying to go to jail. Girl, you're not going to jail for that. Why would they even do a search on you if you had nothing to do with the crime? Now they gonna look you up. Now they gonna realize you wasn't working, like you working under the table or whatever, because you just did this. Now he's gonna call the police on you.
Yeah. Like, also a hit and run, and you took the police on a run.
She is wild. She is a wild girl.
Like, your ass is crazy. Y'all Miami bitches is crazy. So one of the niggas, I end up giving him my number at Blue Flame. He hit me up the next day and was like, you woke, let's go to breakfast. Remind you, I'm at my homeboy house. I ain't go home that night. And this was a Friday, so Saturday the kids ain't had nothing to do. They home, my mama home, everybody home, so I was able to stay out that whole night. So I'm like, all right, I'm down. We go to breakfast that morning. Look, I know these niggas getting money. Like, the nigga was in the club just tossing money, so I know what type of timing they was on. I ain't know like what lane they was in, but I knew they was getting money. So now I want to be around this nigga all day because I ain't looking for another job, because I feel like I'm finna have a warrant. Like, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I ain't called Codaphone that next week. Like, I'm outside now. Like, bitch, I'm already figuring, like, bitch, I'm getting in trouble. We ain't even finna make it to see the PO. Y'all tell me why. Sunday come. We at the club again. My mama called me. She blowing my phone up. So I'm like, damn, let me see what she want. So I step out the club. I call her. She yelling in the phone. She was like, I ain't got time for this shit. Like, I done had your kids for 2.5 years and you come back out here on that bullshit. Like, police just kicked down the door. They looking for you. I'm like, police just kicked down the door? Man, why? My mama husband recorded the whole thing. They kicked in the door and had my mama, they had all their ass sitting outside on the floor trying to check the house to see if I took money from, I guess, out the Boost Mobile store. So I'm telling my mom, I'm like, I ain't do shit. Like, you know, I ain't had nothing to do with that. Like, I already done explained her the story. You know, I ain't had nothing. She like, well, you need to figure out how to get a fucking lawyer because your ass finna go back to jail. So I'm like, all right, mind you, my bad. My homegirl was calling me. Okay, my homegirl kept calling me. She threw me off. But she was like, you need to get a lawyer. So I'm hanging with these niggas in Blue Fame every day. I'm trying to see what type of timing they on, because at this point, I do need a lawyer. Tell me why. It's like a hood in Atlanta. It's like off of Wesley Chapel Road. If you from Georgia, then you know this area. It's some apartments over there. All like the apartments used to be so turned. Listen, I'm just pulling up over there. I'm talking about the whole parking lot. That's what the people hang at before they go to the club. So I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck going on, because bitch, I'm trying to make some quick money now. I've been avoiding Codaphone, probation calling, police kicked down the door, which means that I had a warrant. So the nigga was like, they be doing like little MO type shits. I wasn't on that type of timing. Fraud, again, I'm one person. Don't gotta worry about me, is LPOP. But what I did do is the faggot. Ooh, I ain't meant to call him that. The my gay homeboy, he was like, he don't mind doing it. So I was just driving him, taking him to the places. I ran up a quick like 20 bands with these niggas. And tell me why police, the day that I go home, police have like a trap. They must be new my car. My car was registered in Georgia. Police had like a trap. Like, everyone in Georgia, they always have like little roads things. Like, you know, the roads be like hills, 2 streets. I'm in the car with the nigga. I'm getting ready to go get clothes again now, because we get ready to go to Blue Flame. Driving down the road, it's like a what they call it, a checkpoint. So he was like, God damn, the line is long as fuck. So he was like, police checking cars. I guess extra IDs. I don't know what the fuck they was doing up there. He was like, drive. I was like, bitch, I can't drive. He was like, well, I can't be in the car. Mind you, he got a gun in the back seat. I'm like, I can't fucking drive, bitch. I got a warrant probably. He was like, me too, shit. I'm like, what the fuck we finna do? Y'all, we jumped out the car. It's bushes on each side of the road. We jumped out that car and bitch, I follow suit. I'm running in the bushes. Inside them bushes in Georgia, it's like puddles. It was like puddles because I'm stepping in water, bitch. I'm running. Bitch, I'm running. Then the police, like, when we did jump out the car, because we was like 2 cars back, I don't know if police was chasing us too, but you heard shit like it sounded like was following us, bitch. I was so fucking scared. I just laid. It was like a whole bunch of bushes and trees. I laid down on that in that fucking water, bitch. I still had my phone. I called my auntie who stayed up there, and I was crying, bitch. I was scared. I did not want to go to jail. I called her and asked her, can she come get me? She called my mama. Mama talking about, you finna get the fuck from up here. You finna get the fuck from get the fuck from up here. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The next day, I packed my car and I had my mama register the tag in her name, and me and my kids drove back to Miami. Stay right there. Come back. Okay, y'all. So I'm finna finish the story. Listen, when I got back home, my mama wasn't with all that. My mama was not with all that. Mama was like, you finna get the fuck from up here. But like I said, I had done made her re-register the tag in her name, and I got the hell from up there. I packed the car. I filled the car up. Like, the back seat was full, everything. And that same morning, I withdrew my kids from school. I didn't have a school that I was going to put them at, so I just withdrew them. We came back. We drove to Miami. When we got to Miami, I had went and stayed with my grandfather. So once I get back to Miami, I already know I can't find a job because I got a warrant. 9 times out of 10, I got a probation warrant as well. So I wasn't going to find no job. So guess what I started doing, y'all? Stripping. I started stripping, okay? Listen, I ain't have no other options. I ain't know what to do. Like, I really was on some, bitch, I got to get it by any means necessary. So the money that I had made with the diggers in Atlanta, I had went and got a lawyer. My same lawyer from my case. He asked me for $10,000. I gave him $10,000. He looked into the case and he was like, I have a warrant for theft by taking, which I posted in Atlanta, and the probation warrant for the feds. He was like, I have to clear that case because I'm gonna have to turn myself in regardless, but I have to get that case dropped so it don't be a violation and he could get the feds probation reinstated. So I'm like, okay, what do? I didn't want to turn myself in. I didn't want to go to jail. So I was like, you know what? I'm finna go ahead. I'm finna grind so I could get me a crib, and then I'll go turn myself in. Once I get a crib, I get the kids situated or whatever, I'll just have my little sister, like, take over for a little bit and go handle that. So my lawyer, he did everything. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I started stripping, okay? Like, I wasn't going to get no job. Like, the only other way I knew how to make money, I didn't have the access to do that. So my only option was to go shake this ass. And that's what I did. But I didn't go nowhere in Miami because I didn't want nobody to know. So every night I used to drive to like West Palm Beach, to Sugar Daddy's. I used to drive, it was another club like KOD, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's what it was called. I used to drive there, y'all. I thought that I was a real stripper. I never stripped in my life. I was shy. So what I used to do is I used to get drunk as hell. I'll get drunk as hell, and then I'll go to the club and I dance. Made my little money, got a crib, put the kids up, and I had to go back to Atlanta and turn myself in.
Okay, that's why I'm confused at. I'm not knocking how she make her money at the end of the day. I mean, I'm not shocked that you started stripping at all. I mean, it was either that or selling. Well, I can't say that probably, but I knew you had only one or two options at this point. What I'm more zoned out by, and just how she processes shit. Most people will get a job, but she's on the run, so I'm not assuming she's about to do anything great anyway. She's been doing bad shit since the story started. But my issue is this, really. Why did you pack the kids up? Like, why didn't you just leave them with your mama? And I'm on your mama's side 100%. Because my mama was like this. I promise you, I ain't got no, like, I get it. You living life for the first time. This your first time. You know what I'm saying? So you really just trying to get the hang of it. But if your mama been watching your kids for 2 years, why would you go over there and mess up everything that woman built in 2 years? You took them out of the school system and brought them to a new city just to go back to the city that they was just at and turn yourself in? Like, what was the point of that? Like, that don't make any sense. I would have just left my kids where they were if they were more safer there. Like, I gotta start. Listen, people, if you in these type of situations and you got a mother or a father that's on your tail about this type of stuff and they trying to make you better, y'all need to listen. We grown. Y'all need to be listening to this stuff, man. Your mama trying to tell you, like, you are a fuck up. And I know it's the harsh thing to say, but the way you be smiling and fucking up at the same time, I don't blame her for being that harsh with you. I don't think she can be any softer with you when it comes to this, because it ain't getting in there. Your mom told you a fuck up and you just was like, yeah, you're right.
They kicked your door down.
They kicked your door. They had you on the ground.
You recorded it. Let me see that.
Me and my daughter would have been, man, my kid would have been fighting. Matter of fact, I'm leading the search to find your ass at this point, because you pissed me off.
She was keeping their life exciting, but her family her family's, they some real ones though. Mama put the car in her name. That's some real shit. Like, my people don't even do that, and I ain't did nothing illegal.
Man, if somebody ever tell you doing some real stuff, like you a real person, you probably doing something so stupid that nobody else will do. You know what I'm saying? Don't let people fool you with she's a real one. No, that is foolish. Her mama pissed that she made those decisions, and you will be too. When they consider you a real one, you're doing stuff that no one ever would do, and that's bad.
But their whole family looking out. Even grandpops took her in, knowing she's on the run. Mm-hmm. That was a nice thing to do. Okay, and then little sis don't come up and take over the lease for you because you about to go to jail. Like, your family some real ones for real. My people will be like, well, you got this.
And they will be right. They will be right to be that way, because you make your bed, you got to lay in it. Why am I laying down on the ground while they looking for you for being a little thief? And if you ain't steal, go get a lawyer and fight the case. But I get it. I don't got the money to do it. Well, if you would have just called the police that night, you wouldn't even need a lawyer. Now you need a lawyer because you look guilty. Everything you're doing is guilty. And I get it. You scared to go back to jail or whatever the case may be. But if it's a theft case and you ain't do it, if you really didn't do it, then get a public defender, and just fight. I don't know, man. I don't know. Stay out the street, y'all.
I want to know, did they ever catch the guy that y'all was hiring that did the robbery? Because what? Y'all literally have him on camera. And I'm pretty sure y'all have all his documentations because he was about to work there, or he was working there. This is just all goofy.
Yeah.
I sat in Atlanta County Jail for one thing about Atlanta, they don't play. I don't care what you do. You could go steal a gum out the store. Atlanta gonna put you in jail for 20 years. You could go up there trying to do anything wrong. You going to jail for a long time in Atlanta. So I sat in jail, I think, for 45 days in Atlanta jail while he was working on the case. So my lawyer had them pull the cameras, like I stated. Had them pull the cameras. They seen the boy come in. But remind y'all, the nigga didn't just rob that store. Mind you, I told you the guy had 3 Boost Mobiles. He was trained at the store I was at, and then we also had to train him at the other 2 stores that was across Atlanta. When he left that store, he went to both stores and robbed both stores. So the reason that I had the warrant is because they thought that I set it up. This is what my lawyer had to argue with them. They thought that I set up the robberies because when he walked in the store, I was too calm. They said that I didn't look afraid or look like I was getting robbed. So they felt like I had something to do with it. They knew I didn't take nothing from the store because they watched me come out on the camera. But they felt like I set that up. I'm like, set it up? If I tell y'all how this man came in them people's store, I'm from Miami. I'm not going to say Atlanta is slow, but Miami a little more faster. This nigga walked in the store. Like I said, he had on some fucking bifocals. If I slapped them shits off, bitch, he ain't finna see again. And then the gun was rusted. I felt like the nigga was on hard times, hard measures, desperate shit make you do desperate things. I felt like that nigga needed some money real bad because he was scared as fuck to rob the store. When he walked in the fucking store, he looking scared. So I'm looking at him, he looking at me. So I'm like, wait. This nigga say, put all the money in the bag. But remind you, he got the gun. The gun looked like he done found it somewhere because it is really rusty. Like, it's a black small gun. That shit was rusty. Like, bitch, if he try to shoot it, that shit gon' jam. So I'm looking at this nigga. I told y'all he pointing it at me like, he's shaking and shit. The nigga trembling and shit. I'm looking at this clown like, bruh, come right here and get the money, man. Come get the money your fucking self. Come get the money your fucking self. Like, fuck you trying to do a stick up with a rusted ass gun. So I just wasn't afraid. And that's what the detectives felt I had something to do with it, because I literally was talking to him. He was like, give me the money. I was like, man, I'm not giving you no money. You come around the counter and get it. Shit, you the one robbing the store. Don't make me a part of your robbery. He walked around the counter like I told y'all, and he opened up the cash register. I simply stepped to the side, bitch. That shit ain't got shit to do with me, because even though I wasn't afraid and I felt like his gun was like literally with a jam, I also felt like he wasn't on that type of timing. So he talking to me, I'm talking back to him. Bitch, I ain't had shit to do with it. But what I ain't gonna do, I ain't gonna underestimate him. I ain't gonna underestimate none of that. The gun, none of that. So I just politely stepped to the side. Nigga, do you. So when he taking the money dropping, and he like put it back, like, nigga, I'm not bending down, putting no money in no bag. He getting angry with me. He getting upset. He like, he just snatching it, like putting the money in the bag. So when he walked out the door, mind y'all, the register has, y'all know, like in cash registers, the money on the top, but if you lift it up, the big bills is under it. On the top of the register, it had like 20s, 5s, 10s, and 1s. But if I made 50s and 100s that day, I lifted up and put it under the register, which he knew because I trained him. He didn't take that part. Like, he just took the top part. So when he walking away, I said, that's all you finna take? Like, bitch, I was confused as the robber. I was like, that's all you finna take? Like, you came in these people's store to rob it for like $300, $400, whatever the hell it was. He just looked back at me and he just walked out. So the police felt like I had something to do with that because I was having a whole conversation with him. But when I explained it to my lawyer, and my lawyer argued it in court, like, and told them, they also seen that he robbed 2 other stores that I didn't know nothing about and had nothing to do with. So that case was dropped and my probation was reinstated. Y'all stay right there. I'm gonna tell y'all how I always meet weird ass people. I think God bring people in my life for healing, for lessons, and for teachings, because when I come back to Miami, shit just get a little more crazier. Come right back.
So she did all that shaking ass for nothing. All that shaking ass and all that running for nothing. Could have stayed home with your kids, man. That's what I was saying from the jump. This is a petty case. It just didn't make sense. I think she just wanted to do it. I think some people got a thrill for it, you know? They just like, it's a speeding ticket, but we're going to still take the cops on a race. Fuck it. We got a petty warrant for, like, I might go, like, you didn't even have a warrant at the time, but it's like, damn, now you do. It's like, listen, I ain't knocking it. I'm one to make the police do their job. I don't care if the answer's right here in my pocket. You got to get a legal search warrant. I'll make them work. But damn, this is just like all that time and energy and hustling, and like you hustled up $20,000 for what? And then gave it to the lawyer and it was just dropped. You could have got I told you, she could have got a public defender for this.
I know the robber is watching her tell this story and just crying. He thought he was doing something. He was so confident after that he went and robbed 2 other stores. But I feel like the reason why she did go on the run is because she didn't know that he just committed 2 more crimes, which is so, like, that's just being greedy.
It's just lack of education. Like, goodness gracious. Like,
But she didn't know that he robbed 2 other stores. So now it's like, I wasn't a part of that, so you can't really say that I set it up because I had no idea about any other thing that was going on. Mind you, she's on the run, so there's no way she would have known.
Even if he didn't rob 2 other stores, you did not have nothing to do with it. Innocent people do not run. That's what the motive is to the police. Why is she running so fast when all we want to know is what happened? She had to do it at this point, right? So it's like you just did all that for nothing. Like you could have. Y'all, I need to face your problems, man. Damn. I don't know, man. I don't know how bad prison truly is. I've never been. But is it really, if it's that bad, why y'all doing crimes with smiles on y'all face? Like, just straighten up then. If you can't go sit down and do a little theft ticket, the hell? That's like 6 months to a year. You didn't even do nothing, though.
Hey y'all, good morning. So I'm finna finish the story. I went and cleared up all that. Did my time in Atlanta. Like I told y'all, I sat for like 45 days in Atlanta jail. And then everything was back normal. Like my probation was reinstated. Everything was back normal. I came back to Miami. My kids was already in Miami. They was already in school. Wasn't nothing but like a 45-day bid. So when I came back, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna look for a job, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get my life on track. Around it, when I came back, it was Christmas time. So I still went back to stripping. Like, I just started stripping because when I test out the waters, the money was easy, the money was quick, and that's what I did for the kids' Christmas. So listen, being a stripper is hard work. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there. That's not for me. That is hard work. Number one, I can't dance. Not only can I not dance, y'all, I used to try and go up that pole. I used to always take my best friend with me. May she rest in peace. I miss my dog. But I used to take her with me all the time, and she'll sit in the club with me while I'm dancing. And listen, she didn't take me serious, and I didn't take myself serious, because she used to be like, you is one funny ass bitch. Like, y'all, I used to be trying to go up that pole, and like my thighs used to get stuck on the pole. Like, I was like, man, I need just to make some quick money to get these kids Christmas out the way, and then I'm done with this shit. Plus, like, that stripper life is like hard time, because them hoes used to want to beef with me. Like, I remember one time I was at some club in West Palm Beach. I told y'all it's like a KOD type club. I don't remember the name. But some man, he was like, come on, I want you in the private room to dance with me. So I don't know nothing about this life, y'all. I ain't never danced before. Like, this was really new to me. Before I go, I'm driving in the car, drinking my little liquor, like sipping on my little liquor, making sure I feel good before I get there so I can get the job done. So one day I'm in the club, the guy was like, I want her right there. So we go in the little private room, I'm dancing, and then he looking for too much. Like, he want to touch, bitch. We ain't doing all that. So he, like, I told him he was okay with that. That nigga gave me $10,000. All I did was shake a little ass, and I got the fuck on. So I go back. I'm bragging because, bitch, this like new to me. I'm telling the girls like, oh, he just gave me like 10 bands. So he was like, he coming back tomorrow. So the girl who introduced me to the club, she was like, oh, the rules is when you make big money, whoever introduced you to the life, like I introduced you to this club, you have to give me half. I gotta give you what? Baby, that's not working like that. Like, that's not gonna work like that. Exactly what I told her. Now, remind you, she did introduce me to the club. Like, she did, like, tell me, like, you know, show me the life. But I still wasn't getting her half. Like, you know how tired I was? You know how bad my feet was hurting in them heels? Like, I had to dance literally like 10 songs. I was out of breath. I needed fucking water, but I couldn't move. Get her half. Baby. That was not the plan and was not the deal. So
I like how she trying to sit here and act like shaking ass is so hard.
I mean, would you know?
I'm just saying, y'all do it for free for 10 songs in the club. Ain't nobody threw no money on y'all ass. Y'all be shaking ass for 10 songs straight. And that's so hard to do. Like,
in heels? Have you seen like stripper heels? They're not like your ordinary heels. They
like them heels on.
I understand it's hard. Pole dancing or what, you know, any exotic dancing, it's hard. It takes a lot of upper strength.
She was barely knowing how to do any of it and still got 10,000. It is not hard. Just shake. Just jump up and down. let him touch you at this point. Talking about he wanted to touch, he ain't touch it. Man, he had to touch something for 10 bands. I ain't falling for the he ain't touch nothing. He ain't touch nothing.
But you got to think about
10
where she
bands.
at
I
too.
got the next one in here.
Miami, like this, when you come to Miami, you got to have money if you just on some ordinary stuff. But if you trying to go clubbing, trying to go to the strip club, you definitely got to come with the racks. So I'm saying the clientele probably is very high out there. Like people come there just for that.
I ain't never been to a strip club though. I never thought of it because I used to watch stripper movies. And I got a notorious quote for you right now for all you strippers out there. This came to mind when she was talking. Don't make the money. No, wait, what the fuck? What they say in the stripper movie? Right. It said, make the money. Don't let the money make you. Okay? Remember that.
But all I'm going to say is I thought we all learned as a kid, don't tell nobody how much money you got unless you're willing to share. Yeah, so the fact that you even disclosing this stuff with money-hungry women around, of course somebody's going to try to get a piece of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have told nobody.
That's common knowledge. Why would you tell somebody how much money you got?
Don't you got to play a club or something like that too? I don't know.
Yeah, you got to do a payout.
Ain't like a pimp in there you supposed to be paying? I feel like club is just a big pimp in there.
You got to have a payout at the end of the night, but you paying it out to the people that pass out the drinks and then whatever, the DJ and X, Y, and Z, but never to another stripper. That don't even make sense.
I would have lied. I'm like, yeah, he gave me 2 bands for all of that. No, she went out there and told the real number.
She said nothing.
She wanted to fight me. I was quiet in the clubs. Like, I was going to the same 3 clubs. I was more quiet because I didn't really know what was going on. And them hoes thought they was going to bully me. When I didn't get her the 10,000, she clicked up with the other stripper girls and they jumped me in the club. But they ain't know, like, they didn't know, bitch. It get like that. Like, it really get like that. So, make a long story short, I end up stop dancing that same day. Had my little 10 bands. Was able to do my kids' Christmas shopping. And tell me why I'm doing Christmas shopping, y'all. Now, mind you, I'm just back to Miami for like a month. While I'm doing my Christmas shopping, I'm inside. I go to Aventura first. Grab them a couple of things. I got them with me. We walk around in the mall. After we leave the mall, we go. My son, he wanted like a big ass TV because he's into gaming and stuff. So we go to Target near Aventura Mall. But remind you, it's this nigga. He keep following me inside the mall. Then when I go to the Target, I run into him again at the Target. So now he's trying to talk to me. He an older guy. So I was like, I ain't want to give him my number because at this time I wasn't into like real older guys. Like I was at this time probably like 35. He was damn bus. I was like 35. Oh, I should let y'all hit me because what is you doing? He was literally like 47. So me and my son in the store arguing because he trying to get 80-something inch TV, and I felt like he didn't need that. Like, bitch, get you a 50, get you a 60. He want the biggest TV that they got on the wall. I'm not buying that. So me and him in the store going back and forth. We going back and forth. So the nigga was like, let him get what he want. So I'm like, you buying it? Y'all. He tell my kids, go get whatever y'all want out the store. Me, I'm like, no, they okay. They okay. So he was like, well, let me just pay for the TV. I was like, go ahead. So he got my son the biggest TV that was inside the damn store. Cool. No worries. But he also went to the cashier people and gave the people at the, because I was in the back of the store at the TV department, and paid for the TV, but I still had a whole buggy full of shit. And when I got to the front, he had gave the cashier like $1,000 and told her to pay for my shit, and if it's changed left over, give it to me. So when I got in the line and I'm ringing up my shit, some lady come over and was like, oh, a guy left this for you. She give me the money and she give me a card. It got his number on it. I'm like, okay, man. I sat on that number for like 2 weeks, and then I decided to call. When I call, y'all, he ended up becoming my nigga. We dated for like 3 years. And he was that nigga on the streets. Like, he was getting real paper. Like, real paper. A real trapper. Like, a old trapper. Like, I'm talking about, when people seen him, people was like, damn, that nigga getting money right there. Y'all, I opened up a hookah lounge. When I opened up the hookah lounge, let me tell y'all his story. This is when I say, God bring people to me that you gonna be like, man, what the fuck? For real, like, what the fuck? Like, why I can't, like...
I don't think God was saying you a drug dealer. Don't get me wrong.
This just makes me think it's like, you did all that at the strip club just for a random man to be like, you know what? I'll take care of Christmas for you. Basically. Like, I mean, she did just get jumped. So just look at that. Like, she just got jumped, and now a random man is coming and gave her the money that she basically just got jumped for. So it's like,
I'm telling you, that's the easiest trick in the book, man. This is what narcissists do, man. If you see a struggling mother, and she was struggling a little, man, she wasn't struggling, but struggling a little bit to him, compared to his money. What's the easiest way to fish her in? It's like bait. You know what I'm saying? Like, here, give her this money, put my card number on it, and let's see if she's one of those people who bite the bait. And of course, she bit the bait, and they lasted 3 years, and she got a prosperous relationship.
And a business, a hookah lounge.
Right. But at the end of the day, it's built off manipulation. He used your weakness against you to lure you. The fellas get it. Women probably not going to. Some women get it.
I'm saying it's some player stuff, though. But at least she got something out of it. A whole business? Like, if you go...
That he probably can take from her at any point. Like, come on now. What real narcissist is going to give you power like that?
They was together for a long time, so they probably built that trust.
That's not a long time. That's not a long
3
enough
years?
time. That's not a long enough.
I'm saying they built a trust into the sense that he's like, okay, like, I'm going to help you with this business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to help you start this. I'm saying at least she got something out of it. A lot of people doing more for less. So before y'all come in here judging her in the comments, people are doing more for less and get nothing out of it. So
I mean, it's a bad culture we live in. At the end of the day, have some integrity, man. Get it on your own, because when you allow men like this to into your life, it's hard to get them out. It's very hard. You know what I mean? They ain't just building this stuff for you for nothing. If he's known in the streets, then he's known by the women too in the streets, and he's got multiple flavors, multiple. Why settle with one woman who needs you when you can get 10 women who need you, and you just got to play your role? So if she was staying with him for most of those times and he a street dude, I ain't never met a street dude who ain't got multiple women. Come on, what we sticking for one for? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to know what you signing yourself up for. It's all luxury. If you okay with just living a luxurious life and not being taken seriously ever by your partner, but you still getting the rewards of it, then, sign up for it. But that's why you end up single eventually. You end up by yourself, ultimately by yourself. Y'all got to start learning how to play the long game.
But you got to hear what she said. She said she wasn't even into older men at that time.
Right.
So she probably wasn't even really with him for anything besides his money. So it's like,
right. So I rather people know that's the message. Like, if you okay with being with people without their money, then that's the case. You know what I mean? Then go ahead, do what you're gonna do. But you're gonna ultimately end up by yourself again. And I know some of y'all don't care because you're like, I'm just gonna move on to the next one. But eventually you're gonna get old. And all that moving around to the next one ain't gonna be able to happen anymore. And I know a lot of women don't want to hear that right now, but eventually you will lose your flame. To the people who with the money and the ballers and who want to you will lose that flame. Just like men, we will lose our flame eventually. And then you're going to be serious. It's going to be a sick time for you when you want to settle down.
Why my life just can't be normal? Like, why it can't be normal? Like, why could it not be normal, y'all? Come back. Okay, so I get a break, just dropped my client off, and back to the story. So, as I told y'all, I started dating him. I'm talking about, I'm going to his house. Like, I used to go to work at Transit 3 in the morning, get off at 11 in the morning. The kids still in school. So when I get off work, I just go to his house and chill until the kids get out of school. I'm telling y'all, every week the nigga just like, listen, when I go over there, first of all, he always in business mode. Like, he always used to sit at the edge of the bed and work. Like, that's all he did was work and watch TV. Never came out the house because he had workers. Like, He never did shit. So in the midst of dating him for like 3 months, I'm just always at his house. Always at his house. We probably go out to eat the most, but we won't do shit because he too far in the game. Like when I say too far in the game, all he worry about is making money. He ain't going on no dates. He ain't doing none of that shit. All he wanna do is make his paper. I'm talking about, this was an old ass rich nigga. Like an old ass rich nigga. So I'm vibing with him. Like, he don't do too much, but every Monday he giving me like $2,000 to $3,000. Like every once a week he's giving me like $2,000 to $3,000. So I go open up a hookah lounge. Well, I go get a shop with the money. I'm like, you know what? I want to invest the money because I ain't trying to be working forever. Like, this my thoughts. Like, I'm not trying to be working forever. Like, I ain't trying to do nothing illegal. Like, I was at a point in my life where it seems to me that only thing that I'm meeting is either trappers or scammers. So instead of getting involved in that lifestyle, like from my previous relationships, I never did nothing with the money. Like, I never invested the money. All I did was go buy designer shit or just go live it up or go to the clubs. I never invested the money. So when he gave me the money, again, he's a little more older. He was like, man, go do something. Go, you over there working. You over there working for them crackers. Go do something. Like, go start your own shit. This how he's talking to me. He was like, you over there building another dream for a bitch. Go build your own dream. So I'm like, damn, you know what? He right. So I go get a shop. My shop was located on 22nd Avenue and 83rd Street. When I first opened, if you from Miami, you know the area. When I first opened, I made it just like a hair salon because I could do my own hair. So I started doing hair. But due to the fact that I was working at Transit, and I'm not going to say I'm not too much of a people person, but I'm the type of person, if you watch any of my videos, I don't agree with fuck shit. So if it bothered me or if it bothered my spirit, I'm going to let you know. Like, I'm very outspoken, and you're not going to come around me and not know how I feel. If I feel some way, bitch, I'm standing on it. Like, not only is I'm standing on it, I'm not going to no outsider to let them know. I'm coming directly to you. Whether we fall out or we still be friends, bitch, that's how it's gonna go. That's why I don't have a lot of friends. And my friends that I have right now is my same friends that understands me. Like, I could tell them it's something bothering me and they're gonna get it. We're gonna talk about it and we're gonna move on. When it comes to other people, bitch, they don't get all that because I guess I'm just so outspoken, but it is what it is. So doing hair was like, I don't know, I just don't like doing hair. So once I figure out I'm not making money from doing hair, I started renting out the rooms inside the shop. Again, dealing with people. That ain't, like, I wasn't consistent with that. So that ain't work out. Once I figured, okay, I'm not making money from that, I turned it into a hookah lounge. I put a pool table in there, and my idea was to just let people come in, vibe, like, you know, chill, and, you know, try and make money from that. But I wasn't making money from that neither because me and my homegirls, my family, we made that shit a chill spot. Like, we chilling in there. We drinking all the liquor. Like, we vibing. That shit really became the chill spot. So I end up moving to Florida City, and I just closed the shop down and just was working. Again, he not with that working shit. Like, he hated that shit with a passion. He hated that working shit with a passion. So he was like, man, find you something else to do. He went and bought me a van. Originally with the van, I was supposed to, let me show y'all the van because I don't even know how to turn around the camera. I'm going to just post it next. But he went and bought me a van.
If you're with an entrepreneur, he's going to want you to be an entrepreneur too. And you got to think he's older than her. So he's like, eventually you're going to burn out from working at that job, and you're going to want to have a business for yourself. I think it's an advantage of being with somebody older, you know, if they have their head on straight. And so, like, he was pointing her in the right direction. He's giving you all this money. Go do something with it. And that's what she did. Even though she started a few businesses and it failed, she kept going. And then when she went back to work, he encouraged her to keep going, to keep pushing her forward. Those entrepreneurs, they going to try to keep instilling in you that you can do it because they're doing it. They're not going to have you feeling like you got a limit. When you're with somebody that has a job or are friends with people that have a job, they're going to keep trying to say, well, why don't you go get a job? It's easier because that's what they're doing. And that's what works for them. So, I mean, like I said, you meet, like she was saying about meeting these people. I believe people come into your life for a reason. Even if it didn't turn out, you know, to work out in the end, he put in her head that you should be an entrepreneur. He gave her the confidence to be something more than just a worker. So,
yeah, at least she's taking advantage of it. I'll give her that. You know what I mean? We grew up in these type of environments. So she reminds me a lot of like one of my siblings. Like she does. Like these are the type of women we grow up with. I don't think she's a bad person. I would take advantage of any opportunity you get when you come from the areas we come from at the end of the day. It's just about, with me, it's just, you know, making the right decisions, learning from where we come from. It's not being, you know, not being seduced to whatever the hell that lifestyle was before we, you know, got adults. I think a lot of us just love that lifestyle and they stay in those environments just for the rush. And I'm just like, man, me personally, because it just end up with you running circles. But at least at the end of the day, this is not everybody's story in these type of environments. You don't meet people who gonna put you on. You meet people who are there to manipulate you and use you in their business. Like the first guy, he hired her to help be an employee in his business. And then the next guy kind of put her on to be the boss. You know, one dude had a plan for her just to help him build his dreams, and the other dude had a plan for, you know, actually putting her on and making her own boss, which is more beneficial to the man if at the end of the day, because now you have more income in your ecosystem. But that's just how entrepreneurs think at the end of the day. I think it's best to put your partner on than to hide it from them, because if you ever have a downturn, they can be, you know, maybe she's making more of those months and she can carry 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But yeah, at least she getting it.
Originally with the van, I was supposed to be doing transportation for the kids, which I started it. I started picking up kids, taking them to school. But let me tell you about that. I go out a lot. Like, my weekends, I be turned up. Like, I enjoy life. And one time, I had got so freaking drunk, y'all, that I didn't wake up to take them kids to school. Like, I literally had like 4 kids that I was taking to school. I literally did not wake up and forgot to take them kids to school. So that was the end of that business. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that, because it's people depending on me for something important, and that's taking their kids to school. So I just stopped that, and the van was sitting for a little bit. But I still used to do hair by appointment only at my house. And he gave me some more money. This time, he gave me $50,000. He gave me the $50,000, and he was like, listen, I don't know what you gonna do, but I want you to figure it out, because I want you on top. So I was like, okay. He walked in the house one day. I was doing this lady hair. He was like, he was always pressuring me about business. And he was like, you figured it out yet? And we was having a conversation in front of the lady, and the lady owned a recovery home here. So she was like, I told her the story that I just told y'all about the kid situation with the van. And she was like, why you don't use the van to do exactly what I'm doing now? I was like, you know what? That's a smart ass idea. But she was like, and you can mix it up with luxury. So he was like, I just gave you $50K. What you finna go do? Guess what I went to do, y'all? I go to the car lot and I get me a Benz. I paid cash for the Benz. I paid cash for it. And then I start hustling on the business idea that she gave me. And to this day, that business has grew because I've been consistent with it. Not only have I been consistent with it, like I felt the power from this business, and I prayed over it. Like, and I pray over it constantly still to this day, and it is doing amazing. It is doing amazing. But let's get back to him. So we got this business idea going on. Like me, I'm young, so I want to travel. I want to go on dates. Like, but I still was trying to figure him out. Like, all this was happening within the 6-month time frame. I'm still trying to figure him out. Like, he don't like going out the house. Like, he don't want to go on no dates. If I be like, let's go on a date, he finna just give me the money and be like, just go, bring me something back. If I want to go out of town, he gonna give me the money and be like, just go. So I was going to Jamaica by myself. I was going on trips literally out the country by myself. Like, I was doing literally everything by myself. And that's where I felt the disconnect from my relationship. So why I'm going to his house all the time, y'all, I was always seeing a woman clothes. Like, it was a nightstand on side of the bed. It had a woman panties, bras. But I just didn't want to ask no questions. Bitch, I was content with him just giving me the money and we just vibing and we figuring shit out. But then things got a little more awkward. Like, a little more, like, intense, where he's not doing anything. Like, he's like, so I had to solve the problem. Y'all come back. Come back. Come the fuck back. Somebody in my comments said, I live one hell of a life. Listen, if I tell y'all that the shit that I be encountering be like mind-blowing, it be really mind-blowing. But the thing is, it don't be affecting me. Like, it really be the people that comes into my life. And like I told y'all before, I just feel like everybody that I meet is either for me to learn something or for me to heal something. Like, I don't know. That's how I feel. So let's get back to the story. This man, like I said, never went anywhere, y'all. And I used to get mad about that. Like, bitch, I want to go on dates. Like, I want you to go out of town with me. But he couldn't. Like, he was so tuned in to making money. Like, he felt like if he went anywhere, he was going to miss some money. So I was okay with just give me the money, let me go on about my business. But when I started getting into his world a little bit more and getting into his space, and like I told y'all, I started like really like chilling at his house. And when I used to go to the bathroom, it was like a lady rolled on the bathroom door, like inside his closet. Whole bunch of Gucci shoes, Prada shoes, heels, Prada purses, Gucci purses, Chanel purses. Like, the closet was tea. She definitely was that girl. So I started asking questions like, whose stuff this is? And y'all, this man told me his wife. So I'm like, you married? He was like, he's a widow now. So the wife passed away. So now I'm like, okay. It's kind of starting to make sense to me. Like, okay, he don't want to do nothing. Like, I felt like he was just really just wanting company because now he's in a home alone. But as time kept going and I kept getting deeper into the situation, his family started beefing with me like, bitch, I knew any of this. Comes to find out, he was married for years. The wife was gunned down in broad daylight. I'm not going to mention the story because the story, like, and what was the crazy part about it is I seen the story on the news. Like, I knew about the story. Like, I heard of the story. Like, this story was very popular in Dade County. So I'm not going to even go into all of that. But she was gunned down. Literally shot in the head. Killed. Point blank. I think like 12 times. And I feel like that brought him into depression where he didn't want to go nowhere. He didn't want to do anything. Like, he just was in a depression mode. So as I started to get to know him a little better, he was depressed. And it started making me feel depressed. It started making me feel like I knew this lady. Then, like when her birthday come around, the day was super depressing. Like super depressing. Holidays come around, super depressing. So I started going to look into the story a little more. I started doing my research, Googling it, because I didn't want to ask too many questions to like bring out that feeling again in him. But as we got closer, he started talking to me more. And that was a sad situation all aboard. And I just feel like he was brought into my life to heal him, like to give him hope again, to really like restore his spirit. But that didn't help. I can't say that I know what it's like losing someone that close, but finding new love just wasn't it. And I felt like my last straw with that situation, because no matter how good the money was that he was giving me, it just wasn't worth my peace. Like, even though I was able to resign from my job because he was cutting a big check, it just wasn't worth my peace. Like, the whole relationship started feeling like depression. Like, I felt like I knew this lady. I'm not going to get too deep into that because I ain't got time to be going at it with more people. But besides all that, he just needed a little counseling. He's a great person. He just needed a little counseling. But like I say, I feel like God just bring people in my life for a season, reason, or for me to be a healer. After that situation, I thank God for it, because it put me on a level where I don't have to work no more. Like, it put me on a level where, like I keep telling y'all, everything all good. So after that whole situation, I decided to take a break from meeting people, from getting to know people, from giving out my number, from anything that connected me to another spirit. I started praying more because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that situation was so, like I say, depressing. Like, I was like, you know what? Let me just go find a job. Let me go find another job. So I went to go find another job, y'all. And when I go to the interview, they do a drug test. Now, remind y'all, I told y'all he was a big trapper. Like, he was a big trapper. He said at home all day, chopping up work, chopping up, banging up, sending it to the workers. And he did that shit like on the bed with me. Like, I could be laying in the bed, he working right there. So when I go look for the job, they do a drug test. Tell me why the drug test came back positive for cocaine. I don't do drugs. So I'm hot now, because I know it's from him, like, working all around me, inhaling it, getting in my pores and stuff like that. That was like my last straw. And I part ways. And like I said, I focused on me. And I took time to pray to God. And I told God, I'm going to wait for you this time. I told God, I don't want to meet nobody. I don't want to go out there in the world and meet nobody, because it always seemed that I'm going to meet either a trapper or a scammer. I'm always going to get put in a bullshit. Like, I'm always gonna be like a victim to my environment. And that's what I did. I sat back, I waited on God, I prayed, and I prayed my man that I got now into my life. He not a trapper, he not a scammer, and he ain't got no bullshit going on. He ain't got nothing that I could fall victim to. That's a great man, Savannah. That's a great man, Savannah. That is a great man, Savannah. And I thank God for him every day because, baby, I be meeting some people.
Well, I'm glad, everything did work out for her in the end. Everything she's been through, she still believed in love, even though she stopped for a while, but she prayed on it and she got the man she's been praying for. I saw a ring on her finger, so I'm assuming she's engaged. I don't know, but if you are, congratulations. I know it's hard for a lot of people when you live that fast life. You want somebody in your life that is also living that or getting money a certain way. They don't want a person that work 9 to 5 or whatever the case may be. But she put what she was used to or what she used to go for aside and went for what she needed. So I applaud you for that, for doing it the legit way, going the legal way, putting aside all the BS, all the stuff that used to excite her. In the beginning, she was saying all the stuff that excited her. And then like later on now, she's settled down. And it might seem boring to some people, but it's legit. It's the safest way. And that excitement that you guys get, that's what gets y'all in trouble, really. So you just got to spin that narrative on what you guys are finding intriguing and what you guys don't just, if your type is the type to get you in some mess, then it's time to change your type. Because that's not what you need. That's not what God is calling you to continue to do.
Yeah, she pretty much said that's what she said towards the end while she left him was exactly what I was saying throughout the whole video. So if anybody made it this far, now you understand why I said what I said. Because when she was like, what's the point? Like, even though I was getting all this money, was it worth the peace? And I was telling you, like, that's how people will you in. And I knew it was something that he was doing to will her in. It wasn't, I never think it's all genuine when people come out sometimes. And I know that might be a pessimistic view on things, but look how it turns out. She just admitted that throughout the whole relationship, she was depressed, that she didn't feel at peace, even though he was giving her 50, 60, 70. Like, if you've never made a lot of money, you don't really understand like how your life really mentally doesn't change after. I mean, you feel good. It feels good at first, but when you get used to it, when you start getting adjusted to that type of income and that type of lifestyle, then you start looking at other things. You start looking at the value in the relationship. So if you don't understand, if you didn't understand why I was saying it, hopefully by now you understand it. Because some of y'all be quick to jump in the comment section. I don't like what he said. I don't like. Shut up and watch the whole video. Because I don't live my life really to please people in a way of, oh, let me just tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what I feel like you need to hear, and you're going to take it however you take it. That's just how I come off on this channel. So soundity may be the piece in the channel, but at the end of the day, if y'all want to hear some real stuff, I'm going to say it. I'm not about to sit here and just sugarcoat a lot of stuff. At the end of the day, she's a human. We all live in life for the first time. You put your business out there, it's going to be judged, it's going to be interpreted however people may view it based off of what they've been through in their life. Do that mean that she's a bad person? No. Who am I? I'm not God to judge whether or not she's going to hell or heaven. I really just want people to learn from the mistakes that they make. It could be written off as a joke right now, but in reality, I'm happy she was being transparent. I hate when I hear story time and it says, oh yeah, I met a drug dealer. He was giving me all this money. Life was good. And it was just good. And don't really get into the meat and the grits of it. You know what I'm saying? They just really just be saying whatever people want to hear to make them feel like they made a good decision. So I'm happy that she was like, man, I wasn't even at peace in that relationship. So I got up out of there. Now, some may look at that and be like, well, you used him for what he had and then, left. And that's how I looked at it a little bit too, in a sense, like, it's kind of was like, okay, well, he's always suffered from these issues while you was with him. You just ignored it because of the money. But then when you started getting used to it and you started getting money on your own, you started to realize, I don't need this person no more. Then you start to think like, well, and that's where I think a lot of men get triggered in that part of the story time, because it's like, damn, how many times have you looked out for somebody just for them to, ultimately when you need them, they leave? You know what I'm saying? You just found out that I lost my wife in a tragic way. And I feel like the reason why he was investing so much into her is out of grief and regret of what he did not do with his wife. Everything he wished he would have done with his wife, he found her and he invested in her. I bet you he wished he would have invested in his wife, got her out the streets, got her into a business and stuff like that. Or maybe she wasn't in the streets. I don't know the story of his wife. But if he was in the streets, she had to have some type of affiliation because she was with him. And that's why they maybe, assuming allegedly, maybe that's why they attacked her. And he just didn't want that life for her. Nobody gets in the streets and want their family and the people they do this stuff for to be, punished for their concept for their problems. So I feel like, me personally, just, I don't know, I just feel like he was doing all that stuff for her because he was grieving. It was in a time of grief. So when she finally found out how she handled it, really just kind of showed a lot too. It's like, well, dang. I'm not saying you got to stick through a person through those things, but you were sticking through it as long as it was beneficial. And it's kind of, to me, that was kind of messed up. So like I said, I keep it real. Y'all want to sit here and sugarcoat everything, that's cool. But that's just how I see it. At the end of the day, I do pray for her. At the end of the day, I'm happy that she was able to get a business. I'm happy that she was able to get something to help her children. I hope that moving forward that I don't hear much about the children at the end, but hopefully that you got your children back, and that they're in great school systems, and that you're investing all that money and opportunities in this freedom. I think that's the most impactful thing you can have right now out of all of this, the fact that you have freedom to do whatever you want. Use that time to build with your children and invest in them, and make sure that they don't make decisions like this when they get older, because they might not just meet a man like that. They might meet somebody who's worse with money. You know what I'm saying? So money is not always the solution to everything. Pray up, like how she said, found God, start trusting in God. And what did God do? Provide you with a man that you actually need, not a man that you actually want. Okay? But that's all I got to say. I don't want to get too much into this. I want to say, if you want to follow this storyteller, you already know what to do. Check out the description box below, and you can follow her directly on her TikTok account. But other than that, I appreciate the story time, and I hope whoever made it to the end have a blessed day today. Peace.